cards if he wants to. He's just going to execute Emperor. He's like, 2 turns is enough.
Yeah.
You've lived a long, full life.
Yeah.
Please go somewhere else. Now, Puffin doesn't have the Brawl.
Yeah.
So Puffin's going to have to deal with this the old-fashioned way. And when we look at his hand, it's actually not ideal.
Well, the thing is, when you play, we talked about it earlier, when you play Patrons against a Patron Warrior, and they've gotten 2 turns of Emperor Thorsan on 8 cards, all of a sudden, a lot of damage is made possible
Gonna say
for the Frothing Berserker.
Frothing Berserker's just coming out looking real hungry. You know, he's really thirsting for blood.
Yeah.
He's like, hey, why don't we start tossing out some whirlwinds maybe, see what happens.
Yeah. He's got to go, though. He's making very slow movements onto the board. You got to play quick, especially if you want to battle rage here. I mean, there might be a lethal somewhere in his deck. I mean, he's got 0 mana battle rages.
Yeah, Puffin's kind of in that spot where, yeah, rope's going down. He's got to figure it out really quickly. He does not have a second whirlwind. He has Unstable Ghoul. So
oh, wow.
Unstable Ghoul is, oh.
He can't get it. It's hiding.
And he's got it now. He's going. Put into that. Inner Rage, and then swing. Swing for the face.
Swing! Okay.
Swing.
You got it.
So, all the patrons in the world aren't going to be able to save Cap'n Crunch, it looks like.
Yeah.
Everyone get in here, but also, except Frothing Berserker. Don't get in here.
Yeah, we talked about it earlier. There's sort of a point of no patron zone for when you're playing against another patron player.
Right.
As soon as they get a big hand that's reducing cost by Emperor Thorsan, you have to be really careful with how many patrons you put out, because it just gives them more fodder, more...
Hasn't drawn either Execute. Has he drawn? I don't believe so. There's Warsong Commander.
Yeah, I don't think he has. Yeah, Warsong Commander.
Warsong Commander finally shuffled in and was like, hey, what's going on, guys?
Yeah. Puffin needs a Harrison Jones. Just ripped right off the top here.
Yeah, he needs to put that Death Spider Museum very quickly.
Yes, he does.
Because right now, with that Warsong Commander showing up, Cap'n Crunch has more than enough damage to probably end this. So silences, he's like, you still haven't found what you're looking for. I'm going to try to deny you some more card draw.
Yeah, trying to apply pressure. But...
And yeah, he's got a good board here. Unfortunately, we know.
Yeah.
It's going to be a problem for him.
I think he knows, too.
How would you say he knows?
Yeah. He's hoping.
Yeah.
But he knows.
Well, it was obvious to Puffin that Cap'n Crunch was digging for something that he just couldn't find.
Yeah.
So silencing the Acolyte of Pain makes total sense.
Yeah, I mean, judging by the sliver of cards he has left, I would guess that's like 6. About 6, so...
Right. So this is, Cap'n Crunch is going to take this game, and he's going to get on the board, so it's now 2-1. And then...
Oh.
He's really just going for it. He really wants, you know, after losing 2 games, he's like, I just want to enjoy this big Frothing Berserker punching you in the face.
If I overkill him enough, does the damage apply to the next game?
Do I win a second game?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it feels kind of unfortunate for both. Well, there's a patron, so.
That's a lot of damage, but I don't think he's quite there.
Yeah, I think Puffin's just considering putting down that patron and just being like, well, let's make a lot of patrons, see if he has an answer.
To be honest, he might be going a little too ham here. Well, I guess that's sort of unfair to say, because it hasn't been that long. He hasn't seen Emperor Thorsan. We saw a player get punished earlier for playing a lot of patrons this late in the game, because if your opponent all of a sudden has Frothing Berserker, you already have a Whirlwind effect on the board for them to use. So it could be a little bit dangerous, but I think it's definitely an aggressive line that I don't know if he's really going to get punished for.
Well, at some point, you have to just win.
You have to do damage somehow.
And that's what we were talking earlier about, the high-level decision-making in this deck, right? Like, Puffin could have waited, but he's kind of already at, like, maximum cards. Oh, and here we see this blade's starting to get real thirsty. Now, Timitim earlier, he reacted similarly with very, very quick timing, and he kind of just knew what was happening. I kind of wonder if this is the same situation where, like, he's just prepared, and he knows that, like, 6 minions on board if the opponent has it, double frothing. Yeah.
This is a lot of damage.
It's going to be very close. He has Inner Rage, which he can also use.
One Whirlwind was on 8. The second Whirlwind's going to be on 3, on 8 again. So that's 16 for each, plus the base 2. I think that's it.
I mean, Timitim's going for it, and I have no reason to distrust his math so far.
Yeah.
Excuse me, Grim Patron, I'm trying to cast.
Yeah.
But I feel like he probably, you know, thinks he has this, so if he does...
well,
yeah, just check my watch, like what have I got to do with my day? Oh my goodness, yeah, that's... All right, that's more than enough. That's big numbers, is what that is. So yeah, Timitim up 2-0 on Puffin, and just has to win with the Rogue now.
That was... see, I mean, that late in the game, when you feel your